Hey guys. All right. Hey y'all. Let me get this together. If you can hear the music in the background, you know who we talking about today. Let me share this out to my groups. How y'all doing? How was your weekend? Hey, P. Jackson, how you doing, girl? How was your weekend, my dear? And you hear that Rick Ross in the background? We talking about the boss today. Are you a Rick Ross fan, AP Jackson? Well, we're talking about Rick Ross and 50 Cent. Your day was short? That's awesome. Or your weekend was short? Sorry, your weekend? Yeah. I actually took Friday off. I literally took Friday off, and I gave myself a 3-day weekend, and I just relaxed because I needed it. I felt like my brain was... So I would encourage you to take a mental health day for yourself if you feel like, you're a little burnt out, because I know sometimes I do. All right, so we're all shared out on Facebook. Let me go to Instagram. Okay, and let me turn this around. Real hard. Rick Ross should have done his verses with 50 Cent. Why did he do it with 2 Chainz? Hey, Lil Said 82. Hey, Obed. Hey, yo. All right, let me pin this. Okay. So, we are getting started in like 3 minutes. Nothing much. I'm out here surviving, sir. We're getting started in like 3 minutes. I have a lot of stories today. I don't know if I'm going to get through them all, but I'm going to do my best. Oh, it was an ATL battle? Hey, essentially true. ATL battle. But wait, Rick Ross ain't from ATL. He's from Miami. Yes. We're going to try to get through all the stories today. I don't promise that we will, because I actually have 5 things I want to talk to you about, but I've got 3 major ones. Today, we have a story from my video gamers. There is some major news shaking up the video game world. Like I've been saying, wait, Rick Ross lives in Atlanta? Why did I think he still lives in Miami? I don't know where these people live. So we're talking about there's a big shakeup in the video game world. Rick Ross and 50 Cent were going at it in the courtroom, and not just on wax. Omarion is out here trying to get his money from the Zeus network. So we've got quite a bit to talk about. And we're going to get started in about 3 minutes. At 8:05, I'm going to ask you guys to share this out to your friends. Oh, I want to say hi to my mom and my dad and my sister and all my family who watches. Obed, hey, you here live. Mom, how come you ain't call me? I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding. My mom calls me all the time. But hey, Mom. Oh, he lives in Holyfield's old mansion. Okay, Rick Ross. All right. I was kidding. So we are going to get started shortly. Make sure you share this out at 8:05 to your friends who are gamers, your friends who are fans of either Rick Ross or 50 Cent, your friends who were fans of B2K, like myself back in the day. Baby, turn around and let me see that sexy body go bump, bump, bump. Don't laugh at me, okay? B2K was that group in 2000. So we're getting started in 1 minute. I got 6 people over in Facebook, but only AP Jackson is talking to me. Where the rest of y'all at? Say hi. Yes. Please remember Facebook friends. There is a long delay on Facebook, so it's going to take me a minute to get to your responses. I'm not ignoring you. Just be patient with me. You're free to come over and join us on Instagram if you want to join in more real time at NPL Consulting Firm, but don't feel like you have to. You can stay right here and we will just be patient. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to get started in just a moment. We'll have to put the Rick Ross station on pause. We're gonna have some fun tonight. I'm excited. I'm always excited when I have like really cool stories, on a Monday. Because sometimes, the stories aren't that exciting. I try to make them exciting, but some days it's like, pow, right in your face. All right, it's 8:05. It's time to get started. I'm hitting the record button. Time to share this out to your friends, people, okay? All right, welcome. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If this is your first time watching and you don't know who I am, how dare you? I'm just kidding. We are welcome. You are always welcome here. And I'm Natalie Pierre-Lewis. I'm the host of the show and I'm the owner and operator of NPL Legal Dish. My Monday through, I'm getting my intro all mixed up. I'm the owner and operator of NPL Consulting LLC, a business formation firm. What that means is I help you get your business paperwork together. So things like getting registered with the state, making sure you have EIN numbers and DUNS numbers, making sure you have appropriate contracts, non-disclosure agreements, operating agreements, basic brand protection strategies, hiring policies, all of those foundational things that you need to make your business legitimate, to make it function properly, to set up a proper foundation so you can build with confidence. I help you do all of those things. If you're wondering why I'm qualified, I'm so happy that you asked. I'm a licensed attorney. I have been one for 14 years and counting. I've started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I've had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I'm very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but a lot of you have amazing business ideas, and if you're going to be successful, there are just some things that you're going to need to know. There's no way around it, so that is why I am here, all right? So if you would like to see how you can work with me so we can get that business out of your head and onto the streets, or if you're in the startup phase of your business and you need some help organizing, and you want a legal friend to help you, that's what I'm here for. Go to linktr.ee/NPL Consulting Firm. There you can book yourself a one-on-one coaching session. If you're a first-time client, you even get a free 15-minute consultation. You can also download the free Biz Launch cheat sheet that will help you start your choose and start your dream business in 7 days or less. Excuse me. You can also see the array of video trainings that I have. I have my EIN training, my DUNS number training, my operating agreement training, as well as visit my e-store where you can pick up a lot of my ebooks. And at linktree/NPL Consulting Firm, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and my podcast, where if you ever miss an episode, you can go watch any of the back episodes on the YouTube channel, or you can listen to it on the podcast version, okay? So that is enough about me. Let's talk about the show. So the way that the show works, if any of you happen to be new, is that I pull stories from the news, stories that you guys send me, stories that I see on blog sites, anything that I think that is interesting, that has a lesson that we can learn as business owners. And we discuss these stories, okay? So this is a time for us all to chime in. Don't be shy. As long as we are respectful of each other's opinions, ask your questions, give your comments. And I'm going to ask you questions and ask you to put some, comments in the box to make sure that you understand what's going on and you're keeping up, all right? Okay. So I think we're ready, so we are going to get started, okay? So, first story that we are talking about tonight. Gamers, please give me your controller emojis. Gamers, please give me your controller emojis. There has been a shake up in the video game world, particularly if you are a fan of Epic Games. Epic Games, they are the people who make Fortnite and such games. So if you are a gamer, give me your video controller emoji, okay? So, if you didn't know, but if you're a gamer, you do know, in a lot of video games now, there's what's called in-app purchases, right? It's where, you can buy boosters and cool, fun things to take you further in the game. And these in-app purchases, they cost real money. Now, I'm saying a collective we, I don't play video games, so I don't know how these in-app purchases work. But from what I have heard from gamers is that these in-app purchases can be a bit much. And what you didn't know on the other end is that the platforms like Apple and Google pay when these video games or computer games or network games, however you download them, when you pay for those in-app purchases, Apple and Google Pay charge the companies as much as 30% of the fee. Okay, so if you're paying, $9.99 or $9 for an in-app purchase, hey, Sense by Blingologist, hey. So if you're purchasing an in-app purchase for $9, Apple or Google is gonna get, almost $3 of that, right? Now that's a lot of money. Think about if you're running your own business and every time you had to process a payment, you know how when you process a payment through, Square or Stripe, they take maybe 3-4% of your purchase. Imagine if they were taking 30% of all of the purchases that your customers were making. So if you sold an item for $100, your payment processor would get $30 of that $100. This is essentially what was happening to Epic Games and what happens to a lot of other games. Epic Games, oh, you heard about Apple? Yeah. Well, Epic Games, they apparently have had enough of Apple, robbing them of their profits and taking advantage of, the players of the game, particularly Fortnite. Epic Games, they told Apple, they were like, look, you are charging us entirely too much for these in-app purchases and we don't like it. So, we're not going to do it anymore. Epic Games, they released an update to their games that were on, the Apple and Google platforms. And the update allowed players to bypass the digital payment system. Okay. So they basically said, Apple, Google, we don't want to pay your fees anymore. So we're going to fix our app so people don't have to go through you guys. Right. So Apple and Google, they were like, girl, you thought, and they took Epic Games off of the Apple and Google stores. I think it's back up on Google, but Apple has most definitely taken off any Epic Games on their platform. And they also canceled their developer contract due to terms of service violation. I know it's you, Tanya, girl. But listen to this. Not only did Epic Games release an update so that people don't have to pay through Apple or Google Play, they asked Apple and Google, hey, we want our own store app within the Apple and Google apps. Okay, they're saying that this will save our players money and it'll be more money for developers. Now, while, I don't feel sorry for either party in this situation because, both of these all of these companies make, millions, if not billions of dollars every year. This is essentially Epic Games rented a room from Apple and Google, said, I don't like how much you charge me. It's too much. And just decided not to pay the rent, but still wanted to stay in the apartment. That is what's happening with Epic Games. They're like, look, Apple and Google, we don't like these rates that you're charging us to be on your platform. So we're going to do a workaround so the people who download our games don't have to go through your platform. But we would like you to still keep us there. So Apple and Google, they took Epic Games off, and Epic has now sued Apple and Google to let them back on back on the platform. So I want to hear from you guys. Now, Apple and Google, they have taken Epic Games off due to a terms of service violation. Now, if you're a developer, if you're making an app that's going to go on the Apple Store, yes, they did get evicted since by Blingologist. If you're making an app that has to go on the Apple Store, you need a developer account with Apple, right? And I'm sure that it's a contract and they have all these terms of service that say what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And the number one thing that I know Apple and Google are not going to let you do is not pay them. They want their money. So while I think it is, it is a lot to charge these apps 30% of their in-app purchases. Again, you're in Apple's and Google's house. You are renting a space from them. You don't get to dictate the terms. If you feel like you don't like the terms, you got to go build your own platform. Or at least that's my opinion. But what do you guys think of Epic Games' moves? Now, they feel like, they're on the right side of history. They're trying to make a bold move because they feel like Apple and Google have a stranglehold on the app markets and they want some more choice, particularly for the people who play their games. But do you think that this is a good move by Epic Games to basically, stick their tongue out at Apple and Google and say, look, we're going to stay in this apartment, but we ain't paying you no rent? How does that work? And why do you expect Apple or Google to allow you to put your competing app, because they want Apple and Google to put their Epic Games Store app, basically an app that you can download so you can go buy stuff from Epic and not from Apple? Why would they want to do that? Yes, you breached the terms of service. The terms of service may not be fair, but they are the terms of service. It's just like when we sign up for Instagram or Facebook or whatever. They have all these rules about how they have sub-licenses to our photos. They can, mine our stuff for information. We agree to those when we sign the terms of service that none of us tend to read when we sign up for these apps. Same thing with Epic Games. You in somebody else's house, you don't get to dictate the rules. But apparently Epic Games, they're trying to, break away and create a new path for gamers, something that's more affordable. So don't be surprised if in the not too far future, somehow, especially if you're a gamer, you can find a standalone Epic Games Store app. Okay. Bibleologist doesn't think it's a good move because they may need Apple or Google. Again, must read the small print. I'm sure they read the small print. They were just tired of coming up off of 30% of all the in-app purchases. Because for every dollar you make, you got to give 30 cents of that to Apple or to Google. Can you imagine if, Tanya, with in your tax business, your jewelry business, your scents business, can you imagine if for every sale that you made, you had to give up 30% to Stripe or to Square or to PayPal or to whoever is processing your payments? That's exactly what's happening here. Apple and Google, they're like MasterCard and Visa. They're charging 30% processing fees, right? And Epic Games is like, whoa, that's too much. You gone, right. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But my only issue is that Epic Games, this is Apple and Google's house. You can't, like I said, you can't go into somebody's house and tell them how to run their house. If you don't like the rules of the house, you got to go. You can't say I don't like the rules, but then say I'm still staying and I ain't paying you. So good luck to Epic Games. If you do not have Fortnite as of now and you have an Apple device, you are not able to download Fortnite or any Epic Games because they are completely off of the Apple platform. However, I do think that they are back up on the Google platform. Sense by Blingologist said they're going to find another processor. Right. And if you're wondering about, payment processors for your business, I have a whole ebook on that where I list the different payment processors and the fees that they charge based on your volume. You can pick that up in my Money Management for Entrepreneurs ebook. Okay, you can get that at gumroad.com/nplconsultingfirm. All right, so that was a lot of time spent on Apple and Epic Games. Moving on. Before we move on to our title story of the evening, I want to remind you that you are watching NPL Legal Dish. This is my Monday through Thursday live broadcast where I teach business and legal concepts using pop culture and celebrity news. If you're in the startup phase of your business and you need a legal voice in your ear to tell you, hey, fill out that form. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, you need to file with the state. That's what I do. Go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm and book your one-on-one coaching session today, all right? All right, moving on to our next story. Y'all, today I asked you, or yesterday, I asked you guys to pick your favorite, and I posted a picture of 50 Cent and Rick Ross. And like 70, I want to say almost 80% of you said that your favorite was Rick Ross. So while I know that we're a little low on participants right now, I want to know from the people watching, if you had to choose between 50 Cent or Rick Ross, who are you going with? Who do you prefer, 50 Cent or Rick Ross? Let me know in the comments right now, okay? Now, if you didn't know, Rick Ross and 50 Cent have been feuding since about 2008, 2009 after a fight at the BET. Hey, Beast Mode Burke. After a fight at the BET Hip Hop Awards, all right? They've gone back and forth. They've released diss tracks. They've done interviews dissing each other. It's ridiculousness. Anyway, now, in 2015, Rick Ross was releasing an album called Black Market. AP Jackson prefers Rick Ross. 50 is child. He is, girl, I would never want to get in like a snap session with 50 or any type of like, joking thing, because that man is evil. I can't do it. I would cry. Anyway, so 2015, Rick Ross is coming out with Black Market, all right? Neither. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Tony. They ain't for everybody. Now, as a promo for the Black Market album, Rick Ross had an advertisement that played 50 Cent's In the Club in the background. Now, we know 50 Cent's song In the Club. It's, people play it every birthday. Go shawty, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. All right? People know In the Club. We know it as 50 Cent's song, okay? So Rick Ross used it in an advertisement. Hey, Margaret, in an advertisement to promote his 2015 album, Black Market. Now, 50 Cent, because we know 50 Cent, he's petty. He ain't letting nothing slide. 50 Cent sued Rick Ross and his label and said that they violated his personality rights. Now, he used this personality rights law, which is a state-based law where he is, right? That's the only one you like? Everybody knows that song. So he used the state law, I believe he lives in Connecticut, saying that Rick Ross using the song In the Club violated his personality rights because In the Club is synonymous with 50 Cent, and by no means should Rick Ross be using In the Club to promote his album Black Market. Here's the thing. 50 Cent doesn't own the recording rights to In the Club. So he had no standing to contest Rick Ross's use. Now, while he tried to file under this personality rights law, it did not trump the Copyright Act. He tried to use state law against federal law. When you have state law coming against federal law wins every time, okay? So the judge in the case said, look, 50, we know that you don't like Rick Ross. We know that you don't like that he used your song. And we understand that you are trying to argue that he is violating your personality rights because people know this song to be associated with you. But the personality rights law is only applicable in your state. If we go by federal law, which is what we're going to go by, Rick Ross has every right to use this song because he acquired licensing for the recording rights, which you do not own. So 50 Cent doesn't own the recording rights to the song, which means that anybody with enough money can go to the label or the company that owns the recording rights and say, hey, Can I borrow that? Right? So that is what Rick Ross did, and 50 Cent lost. Now, I do not follow either Rick Ross or 50 Cent on social media, but I would assume that Rick Ross is probably, gloating in a corner somewhere, if not online. Did I get bit by a mosquito? Anyway, but yes, I picked this story because I want you guys to understand that state law will never overcome federal law. So if you have a state trademark, don't ever think that is going to, I mean, it might in some cases, but most times it's not going to beat out a federal trademark. And if you have some type of local law, that according to copyrights, make sure that it doesn't conflict with federal copyright law, because you're going to lose. Federal law is always bigger than state law. AP Jackson said Rick Ross is sitting back laughing. I'm sure he is, and collecting his money all the way. One thing you could say about Rick Ross, look, I don't agree necessarily with his politics and all of his views, but that man gets to the money. He gets to the money, okay? All right. Let's move on to our third story for the evening. Okay, y'all, I was very disappointed by this, the responses to this question. I felt very offended. So I posted a picture of B2K in my stories today, and I asked people if they were fans of B2K, and only like 2 people said yes. Excuse me? Yes, he does get his money sent by technologists. So I want to know from this crowd right here, how many of y'all were B2K fans? Please give me a B2K in the comments if you were a B2K fan. All right. You know you were bumping a bump, and what else did they sing? I don't know. I can't remember right now. It was a long time. I remember they came out. I remember because my roommate used to sweat J-Bug. I just remember B2K being everything. Okay. Anyway, so if you don't know who B2K is, they are one of the boy groups of the millennium. The members were Omarion, J-Bug, Lil Fizz, and Raz B. Omarion and Lil Fizz have since gone on to be on reality television, specifically Love and Hip Hop. Raz B doing something, and I don't know what J-Bug is doing. Okay. AP Jackson said they are babies to me. My teenage AP Jackson, babies. Well, when I was in college, I think they were a little bit younger than me. But no, since Bling out, you're not gonna do this to me, okay? B2K were not one-time stars. They had an era, okay? They had several albums. They had concerts. Y'all ain't gonna do me like this for B2K. Anyway. Yes, B2K, they were one of the, the great boy bands of when I was in college. I used to love their music. It was so cute, their little dances and everything. But, they have since gone their separate ways and are doing different things. However, if you are a child of the millennium, you know that within the last couple of years, there were a couple of millennium tours that were going on. So you had B2K, Pretty Ricky, Yin Yang Twins. Who else? Did they have 3LW? I don't know, but they had all the groups from the early 2000s. They were all going on tour, right? Including B2K. Now, why am I talking about B2K so much? So if you don't know, there is or was a network called Zeus Network. If you have heard of Zeus Network, please give me a Z in the comments. Zeus Network was a subscription network. I don't even think you can get it on TV. You could only watch it on your phone. But they did a bunch of reality shows. Some of which were the one where Tokyo Tony found a man, Blac Chyna's mama, Jocelyn's Cabaret, and they were apparently your son and daughter's time. Okay, thank you, AP Jackson, for the Z. And they were apparently had approached Omarion for a deal to do a documentary on their network about the Millennium live concert featuring B2K, right? Now, in this contract, this contract with Zeus Network, Omarion said they were supposed to provide money to support the project. So, you know, you got to film, you need to pay the crew and have cameras and things like that. They were supposed to share subscriber data, meaning they were supposed to show Omarion, you know, how many people are subscribing to our network, you know, based on this. And they were also supposed to pay a share of the subscriber revenue that Omarion brought in. So if Omarion brought in 1,000 subscribers to Zeus, they were supposed to pay him, you know, some type of money. We don't know what the amount was. Omarion is now suing Zeus Network for breach of contract and fraud. He says that they, you know, from the beginning, they weren't trying to give them their money. He says that they provided altered what is that noise? They provided altered subscriber reports, meaning that they were giving them fake reports of how many people were actually signed up for the network. And that would also affect the amount of money that they would be paying to Omarion. So Omarion is suing Zeus Network for breach of contract, and he wants at least $200,000. Now, we don't have a copy of this contract to sign, but this is why it's important to have contracts in place, right? Because Omarion can say, look, you violated this clause. You were supposed to provide us cameramen, and all you gave me was an iPhone 11. Here, you were supposed to share subscriber data, and I can show you that this is fake because I see that watermark up in the corner. You're supposed to pay me a share of the subscriber data, and you're giving me fake reports. This is why you need to have stuff on paper. Omarion would have no standing to go anywhere to anybody if he did not have this contract. So I hope that Omarion gets his money, because from what I can see, granted, I don't know this man in real life, you know, he seems to be a dude who just minds his business and tries to get his money. But Zeus Network, also, Omarion, look at the programming that Zeus does. Zeus produced a show trying to find Blac Chyna's mama a man. Tokyo Toni, the woman who is a living cigarette. I'm sorry if you're a fan of Tokyo Toni. They also, allowed Jocelyn Hernandez from Love and Hip Hop to film a show about putting on, her cabaret of, and basically, I don't know. It was a mess. AP Jackson said, difference in new subscribers and net subscribers. Did some subs leave the next month or two? I don't know. We don't know the particulars to that. All we know is that Omarion is suing for breach of contract because he's saying that none of the money came through. They were lying about the subscriber data. So he is suing so that he can get the appropriate record so he can get his money, right? Yes, AP Jackson, you need to look at the terms of the contract. So if we can get our hands on the contract, maybe we can look at it, and see exactly what Zeus Network was supposed to do. But for right now, we don't know what's happening because Zeus has not responded to the suit yet. I don't even know if Zeus is still up and running. Somebody check for me. Okay? But good luck to Omarion. I hope that he gets his money. Yeah. All right. So we have like 3 minutes left, and we're not going to have time to get into these last two stories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all a quick 3 minutes to ask me or 2 minutes now to ask me questions about business formation. Tomorrow night, we are coming back at 8 o'clock. We have a story about LeBron James and, people using his image for, political ads without his permission. We have an update on that copyright lawyer who was getting in all the trouble with the courts. And much more. So tomorrow night, we're going to be chock full of information, but now is your time. If you have questions about, how to get your EIN number or how to register with the state or how to get a DUNS number, the types of contracts that you need, brand protection strategies, now is the time to ask. I'm here. We got like 2 more minutes. Don't forget to go to linktr.ee/nplconsultingfirm to book your one-on-one coaching session and also to download the free Biz Launch cheat sheet that will help you choose and start your dream business in 7 days or less. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I feel like I got bit. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for your energy and your participation. This is a lot of fun, and I love coming here to talk to y'all. Still working with the designer on the merch. We've had a little bit of back and forth, but we're getting back on track. So keep an eye out for that. But if we don't have any more questions, we can shut down for the night, because I don't want to start these stories because they're a little meaty, and I want to give them their just due. Okay, Frozen. Oh, frozen? Apparently I was frozen on Facebook. My apologies. But we will be back tomorrow with more stories. Take care of yourselves. Good night. Okay? Bye.